Hey adventurers, this is Mark and welcome to Adventure Pass. Got some breaking news out of Disneyland. The dinosaurs are officially back. And no, I'm not talking about a brand new attraction or some huge new thing over at Disneyland. I'm talking about one of the oldest underrated pieces of Disneyland history that exists, and that's Primeval World on the Disneyland Railroad. So after being hidden away for more than it's been about a couple months, the dinosaurs have finally returned. They're moving again. The scenes have been refreshed, and this is one of those little Disneyland updates that I think is actually a pretty big deal. So many of you are probably asking, what changed? What's fixed? And why are people so suddenly excited about a bunch of dinosaurs that you just see for a few minutes? Well, let's get into it. Let's talk about it. If you've ridden the Disneyland Railroad all the way around the park, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Toward the end of your Grand Circle tour, the train suddenly takes you back in time and you go way back into the primeval world of the dinosaurs. You go from Disneyland into this dark prehistoric environment with some awesome dinosaur animatronics, including one of the most recognizable scenes, uh, the Tyrannosaurus Rex fighting against the Stegosaurus. It's one of the best scenes of the primeval world of dinosaurs. But earlier this summer, the Primeval World went into refurbishment. And in case you were not aware, the last 2 months, there have been some barriers put up so you couldn't see anything. Um, and Disney did something kind of interesting while the dinosaurs were gone. Instead of you going by and seeing all the regular animatronics, you would go past these temporary flat dinosaur cutouts that they had uh, I guess where the glasses where you could see inside where the dinosaurs were. Um, and those were put there because obviously, right, you can't, Disney does not want you to see what they're working on and what they're updating. But that's what we got for the last 2 months. But as of August 22nd, the dinosaurs are finally back. And this wasn't just, turning lights back on. The Primeval World has reopened with refreshed show lighting, with restored prehistoric scenery, and functioning dinosaur figures. And of course, including that classic T-Rex and Stegosaurus battle going at it. So this was, it was more than a quick maintenance closure. It was pretty significant. They did some really good work on that. And I think the lighting may actually be one of the biggest improvements. The primeval world is completely dependent on atmosphere. For those of you who've been on the attraction, you're riding through that dark tunnel and you can hear the music and you see the massive dinosaurs appearing out of the dark. And the lighting directs your attention to each scene, which is really cool. And I love the use of the lighting that's used for this attraction. So replacing and refreshing the show lighting can make these dinosaurs look dramatically better, even though many of these figures have been in Disneyland for decades. And the thing that makes this whole thing so cool is that the primeval world has incredible Disney history. Some of the dinosaurs, in case you didn't know, their roots trace back all the way from 1964 to 1965 at the New York's World's Fair. That's pretty cool. The prehistoric scenes were originally associated with Ford's Magic Skyway, which is one of several major attractions Walt Disney Imagineering developed for the fair. Disney later brought the dinosaur concept back to Disneyland, and Primeval World became part of the Disneyland Railroad experience in 1966. So think about that. Guests are still riding past Disney experience with roots stretching back more than 60 years. That's crazy. At a time when Disneyland is building new attractions, changing Tomorrowland, expanding Disney California Adventure, and planning huge projects for the future, Disney also spent money restoring something that has been part of the park for generations. And I think that's pretty amazing. I really, really love that. And because Disneyland shouldn't only be about what's coming next, part of what makes this park different is its history. You can ride attractions Walt Disney personally experienced himself, and you can board a steam train inspired by Walt's own love of railroads. And then during that ride, you can suddenly travel millions of years into the past and see giant dinosaurs. Yeah, the Primeval World, it's a little different, right? Type of attraction. It's old school Disney, uh, but it's exactly why it belongs in Disneyland. There is, however, one important thing you need to know if you're heading to Disneyland right now. Uh, the restoration of the Disneyland Railroad dioramas, they're not completely finished. Primeval World is back, but the Grand Canyon diorama is still blocked off and undergoing some work. So if you ride the Disneyland Railroad today, you're not going to get the entire classic sequence restored just yet, but we are definitely getting closer. And seeing Primeval World reopen is a very, very good sign for all of us, and especially for you fans who love the Disneyland Railroad. Um, so look, when you ride the railroad, right, you get that full circle, right? Starting from Main Street, you got to stop at New Orleans Square, you got to stop at Toontown, and then you got the final stop, Tomorrowland. And then after Tomorrowland, you go into the primeval world, do all that before you get back to Main Street. So if you don't have time to do the grand circle, boarding the Tomorrowland Railroad is a great way to make sure you see the primeval world of dinosaurs. Um, I personally think it's worth it to go on the Disneyland Railroad and do that whole trip all the way around. There's a lot of cool things you can see in the park while riding on the railroad. So after more than 2 months, right, Primeval World is officially back. Again, the dinosaurs are moving again. Um, this is one of Disney's historic experience that has been preserved for, not just now, but for the next generation. All right, adventurers, I want to hear from you. Are you all happy that this has been restored, that Disney took time to do this? Um, or would you ever want Disney to build a future dinosaur attraction at Disneyland? Uh, Let me know in the comments below. I'm just curious to hear what you all think. And yeah, get to Disneyland when you get a chance and get on the Disneyland Railroad so you can experience the whole refurbishment of the primeval world of dinosaurs. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe, like, and comment. I really, really, really appreciate it. It means a lot. And we will catch you on the next adventure. Take care, my friends. We'll talk to you soon. Have a good one. Bye for now.